in alignment with God's financial plan. Make sure that you pay God first.
Yeah,
yourself second.
that's true.
And if you can still do all of that off of what's left, then God is fine with that.
God bless you.
There's two guys. Their last name is Bankins. I'm sure Sister Daisy probably knows them. There's Rodney and Terry. Two brothers. Rodney pastored for years in Louisiana, and then he's in Mississippi about 20-something years. He retired last year, and he's living back in Lake Charles. And I saw him not long ago, and I said, "How are you doing? How are you enjoying retirement?" He said, "Well, I still preach, and I still travel overseas." And he said, "God has blessed me," and he said, "with a brother that's rich." I said, "Right." "Oh, yeah, that's real nice." He said, "Terry underwrites all that." Well, I was wondering how you was retired going all these places. He said, "I just called and said, God told me to go to Indonesia," and he said, "Well, just get a ticket and I'll pay for it." I said, "How did you wind up broke and Terry wind up rich?" He said, "Brother Perkins, ever since we were kids, I was always tight." He said, "If Terry would give
To God.
he would get out and work." And he started a construction company in Lake Charles. He had a couple old rundown dump trucks and an old backhoe and an old beat up drag line. And he turned that thing into a blessing for not only his family, but for his brother's family. And he sold that a few years ago. And I forget how many millions of dollars he sold that company for. And then the people that bought it asked him to stay on and run
the company.
And they bought him a new Mercedes, and they bought his wife a new Mercedes, and he's still running the company. But now they pay him this extravagant salary to run the company, or he may have retired by now. But we have to understand, he said, Terry was always a giver. He said, and I wasn't.
Give to God, give to mission.
He said, after I got grown and God called me to the ministry, God rebuked and chastised me. He said, your brother has always been a giver to me, and you haven't. And he said, I started giving. He said, but I just didn't have the finances that Terry had. He said, Terry had them because from a little boy, he was always a giver. He gave to God.
Always.
He was sitting 2 seats down from me at camp meeting one year, and they was taking up an offering, and somebody got up and said, I don't remember who it was, and said, God said, there's someone here tonight that's going to write $100,000 check in this offering. Now, I don't know where you're at, and I hope you didn't get up and walk out, but he said, God told me that when they come over and said, would you take up the offering? And he said, God spoke to me. He said, there's someone here. And he said, just, if you'll be obedient to God tonight, God's going to bless you. Now, Rodney was telling me this. I didn't know what to do, and I saw him pull his checkbook out of his pocket. He wrote a check. That man gave $100,000 that night to missions.
For missions and foreign missions.
To missions. And he said, Brother Ronnie, he said, it wasn't 6 months later. This conglomerate of people approached him and wanted to buy his business. He said he gave $100,000 in an offering for God's missions overseas. He said, and these people bought his company for literally millions. He said he got 30 or 40 times in millions compared to what he gave in that $100,000. He said, and I leaned over and told him, you could write me one check. He said, I'm just a poor old pastor over in Mississippi. Why don't you write me one of those? He said, because God didn't tell me to write you one. But he tried it. I'll tell you this, you can't outgive God. When we're giving to him with a tablespoon, he's dumping it back on us with a backhoe. That's how God works.
Amen.
He said, give and it shall be
given to you.
Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. I have proven God time and time again.
It works.
In Hebrews 13:5, he says, let your conversation be without covetousness, and be content with such things as you have. For he has said, I will never leave thee, and I will never forsake thee. The brutal question to ask is, do I really need this?
That's the truth.
Isaiah 55:2 says, wherefore do you spend money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which satisfieth not? Hearken diligently unto me, and eat ye that which is good, and let your soul delight itself in fatness. God wants to work in your life, but there are two conditions for him to be able to do that. Number one, first you have to follow all 5 parts of his financial plan.
Yes, sir.
You can't pick and choose. It's like the Olympic heptathlon. You have to compete in all 5 events in order to win the prize. And second, you have to do all 5 parts of his financial plan in God's order, not just haphazardly.
That's the truth.
Here is the way most people handle their finances. Number one, they earn it. God said we would earn our living by what?
By the sweat of the brow.
Our brow. Number two, they enjoy it. Number three, they pay their bills. Number four, they put it in savings. Number 5, then if there's anything, they give it to God. That's how most people, but here's the only order that God blesses. We earn it. I want you to know, if God didn't give us health and strength, we couldn't go and earn it. He provides us with a job, a way of making income. Number one, God's order is you earn it, you give to God, then you save it for yourself, you pay your bills, and then you enjoy it. God wants to help you and I get out of debt. But you've got to do it His way. How are you measuring up to God's financial plan? And this is the Word of God. If you will obey this, God will begin to bless you. If you're feeling pressured about your finances, if you find yourself arguing about bills all the time, if you find yourself spending it all and not saving anything, those are symptoms of a much deeper spiritual issue.
That's for sure.
Out of control finances are the symptoms of an out of control life. You don't just need a financial planner, you need a life manager. That's Jesus Christ. He needs to be the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer. And the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer
The company.
of our lives.
Amen.
Really, the root of all of our financial problems is one thing: unbelief. Unbelief. If we truly believe what God's Word says, we would do it.
All right.
Do I really trust God's promises? Do I really think that God knows more about how to handle money than I do?
Blessed Jesus.
I've known a long time that God knows how. Am I going to handle my finances the way that God says to, and His Word says to?
Hallelujah.
Or am I going to use my money the way I think best?
My Jesus.
Frank Sinatra, I think he's the one that wrote the song. I did hear Elvis Presley sing it one time. But I think Frank Sinatra is the one that wrote it.
About his life.
I did it my way. I did it my way. Lots of people that I witnessed to will tell you right up front, I don't believe that, I'm going to do it my way. That's why they never come to God,
At all.
because they never learn submission to God's Word. Am I going to handle my finances the way that God says, or I'm going to use my money the way I think best?
Come on now.
Do I really believe that God will take care of me if I do it His way? It's unbelief that gives us so many problems in our financial lives.
Precious Jesus.
Whatever I trust for my security becomes my God.
All right.
I'll say it again. Whatever you trust for your security
Come on, Pastor.
becomes your God.
That's the truth.
There was a man that in the church that I grew up in, he never hardly ever got to be in church. He worked all the time.
Very true.
His name was Russell. The pastor would talk to him and said, Russell, you need to be in church, son. Pastor, right now, while I got my health and strength, I'm making money. And while I'm making money, he said, my daddy told me, make hay while the sun's shining, because tomorrow it may be raining. He said, as long as I got my health, he said, I read my Bible, I pray in my apartment that I live in. He said, but you never see your family. He said, I call them and talk to them. I'm giving them everything they want. And he just kept saying that as long as my health is good. 3 weeks later, a crane was moving a large piece of pipe.
My God.
And the chains or the whatever those straps are called slipped. And that pipe fell on top of him. It was just a miracle he wasn't killed. Broke his back in two. He was paralyzed from about the navel down. Couldn't walk. Came home. They brought him home after the hospital, and they kind of got him halfway. The doctor said only time will tell if he'll ever walk again. He said because his back was broken in two. And Russell was coming in a wheelchair to church, and God got a hold of him.
Lord Jesus.
And one night in revival, sitting in that wheelchair, all of a sudden he tried to stand up. They was praying for him. And he stood up with a girl and very cryptic walking, but he began to walk, and
Yes.
the church went wild because he was walking. And next thing you know, he was running and leaping. And it was a miracle. That's what the doctor says, that he was able to walk again. God healed him.
Healed his back.
His company heard about it, called him and said, when can you come back? He said, I quit.
I said I quit.
He said, I told my pastor a year ago, as long as I'm healthy, I'm working. And they said, well, you're healthy again. He said, I'm going to stay healthy.
Yes, sir.
He said, I'm going to get me a job locally. I won't make as much money. I won't make as much overtime. But he said, I made enough that I'm set. He said, I'm going to be in church.
Amen. Hallelujah.
There was a sister company of the one he worked for came into the area, and they approached him about working. He said, I won't work more than 10 hours a day. I won't work on Saturday and Sunday. He just gave them a big old list of what he wouldn't do, and they said, we'll take you on those terms. He made more money with that company, that second company he went to work with, because he chose to put God first.
Yes. Amen.
He began to reach out into the outreach of the church. And when Russell does that, and some of you may have known him, his father-in-law was over at Cranford. It used to be at Franklin. Cranford Willis, was that his last name? That was his father-in-law. But Brother Russell made up his mind. I made the statement, as long as I'm healthy. He said, and God cut me off at the waist.
That's the truth.
He said, and a miracle happened, and I'm able to walk again. He said, I'll never put no job
Ahead of my God.
And I close. Job 31, verses 24 through 28. If I have made gold my hope, or have said to the fine gold, thou art my confidence. If I rejoice because my wealth was great, and because my hand had gotten much. If I beheld the sun when it shine, or the moon walking in brightness, and my heart had been secretly enticed, or my mouth had kissed my hand, this also were an iniquity to be punished by the judge, for I should have denied the God that is above. What the writer in Job was saying is that I put anything
Ahead of my God.
ahead of God. God says, I will not take second place. We have to, in our God's financial plan, He says, if you'll put me first. Seek first.
Seek me first.
Seek ye first what God wants. He said, I'll add all the other. I've got to be faithful. I've got to be faithful in order for God's blessing to be poured out upon me. I thank you for your faithfulness. I didn't teach this because somebody wasn't doing something. I taught this to help us understand God's financial plan. He always has to be first. He's first. Your wife comes right under him.
That's right.
Then your children. We cannot put anything ahead of God. God bless you.